Hello students, in this video you are going to learn about fertilization and post-fertilization events in a flowering plant. Let's begin. Fertilization. It's a fusion of male and female gamete. In a flowering plant, there are two male gametes that enter into ovary. That is, you can see it here, right? There are total two male gametes, and here one male gamete is going to fertilize with egg cell. Other one is going to fertilize with polar nuclei. Clear? Fusion of male gamete with egg cell is known as syngamy. So what is syngamy? Syngamy is fusion of one male gamete with the egg cell. Here the product formed will be, here the product form is zygote. The product that is formed is zygote. So the product of syngamy is zygote. The other male gamete fuses with polar nuclei, and this fusion is known as triple fertilization. What is triple fertilization? Triple fertilization is fusion of other male gamete with polar nuclei. This will give rise to primary endosperm cell, which in short it is known as PEC. PEC later will convert into endosperm, which is 3N in nature. Now here students, how many fusions are taking place? Number one over here and second is here. That's why the entire process is known as double fertilization. This is specific only in angiospermic plants. Clear? Okay, moving ahead. Now, we'll start with the post-fertilization events. Right? Post-fertilization events are divided into 4. Development of endosperm from PEC, development of embryo from zygote, development of seed from ovule, and development of fruit from ovary. Let's begin. Endosperm. Right here, it's the development of endosperm. From where does this endosperm development take place? Here, this is embryo, which is going to develop into this, whereas this one is endosperm, which is the darker green color. This dark green portion is the endosperm, right? What is the role of endosperm? Endosperm, it provides nourishment to the developing embryo, right? Primary endosperm, from primary endosperm it is formed to the endosperm. The main purpose of endosperm is to provide nutrition to the developing embryo. Endosperm can be free nuclear or cellular, right? Free nuclear endosperm, you can see the best example is a tender of coconut. In a tender coconut, water present inside is a free nuclear endosperm. Multiple nuclei float in this highly nutritious clear fluid. Gradually, cell walls develop, enclosing these several nuclei. These cells and nuclei start settling at the periphery, and the layers of cellular endosperm start appearing. Therefore, in a complete mature coconut, we will find water turns into milky, surrounded by a cellular part, that is kernel, and it does not contain any free nuclei. Here I have here is the diagram of endosperm, right? Now you can see the best example to explain the endosperm is the coconut, and I have kept it this diagram here. You can see the solid endosperm, what I was explaining, that it gets settled down. This is the exocarp, the outermost covering, mesocarp, liquid endosperm, the tender that we drink. right? And this little embryo is over here. Clear? All right, moving ahead. The second one. No, before that, there are two types of seeds on the basis of presence and absence of endosperm. There are two types of seed on the basis of presence and absence of endosperm. If endosperm is present, these seeds are termed as albuminous seeds. And if endosperm is not present, those seeds are known as non-albuminous seeds. The example of non-albuminous seed is bean seed, and the example of albuminous seed is corn seed. Moving ahead. The next topic of post-fertilization event is embryo development. The embryo, this one, will develop into the structure like this, right? This is located inside the seed. You can see here in the figure, right? Now, how does this embryo development take place? Again, it is divided into events. First, the egg, then two cell, then octate, globular, triangular, heart-shaped, torpedo, and it forms a mature embryo, right? Now, let's see. This is the fertilized egg. It will divide into two cells, the apical cell and the apical cell and the basal cell. Apical cell will go on dividing, right? Basal cell will remain at the base. That's why its name is basal cell. Apical cell will give the structure of globule. That's why globular, then triangular, then heart shape. And there are certain cells which are suspending between this apical cell and the basal cell. That's why the name is suspensor, right? After heart, there is a torpedo stage. Torpedo stage, now you can see it here. The heart shape, these two will form cotyledon, right? This will be the shoot apical. This part will be the root apical. So that is embryo of the seed. Inside the seed, here we are finding these are the two parts, shoot and the root apical, right? All right, moving ahead is a mature embryo structure. In a mature embryo structure, you can find again, this is, my dear friends, it's a apical meristem, right? Whereas root meristem are over, like it's going to condense, right? So root meristem is also located over there. All right. So the mature embryo get condensed inside the seed in this structure. You can find these are the two cotyledons. These two are the cotyledons. Few points that we have to remember are: embryo is a diploid cell developing from a zygote. It starts to develop at the micropylar end. Now here, if we draw the structure, plaza, opposite is the micropyle, right? So embryo development take place at the micropylar end, and embryo starts developing after the endosperm formation has started, because endosperm provides the nutrients, and this embryo, for development of embryo, it needs the nutrition. Now let's discuss about the dicot embryo and the monocot. Structure of dicot embryo and the monocot embryo. Dicot embryo, you will see the plumule, cotyledons, hypocotyle, radicle, and the root cap. Apart from it, there are also root cap. There is also an embryonal axis as well as apicotyle. Apicotyle, I'll show you here. Right, hypocotyle, apicotyle, cotyledons, plumule, and radicle. What is the role of these things? The cotyledons are the seed leaves that stores the food, provide nourishment for the development of radicle and plumule. Radicle will develop into the root, plumule is going to develop into the shoot, and root cap is covering the root tip, which protects the root. Right. What is hypocotyle? Hypocotyle is the part of embryonal axis below the cotyledon, and apicotyl is above the cotyledon. Here you will see it properly. The apicotyl is above the cotyledon and hypocotyl, this one is above, and hypocotyl is below the cotyledon. It's a part that is below the cotyledon. Now let's see about the monocot embryo. This is monocot embryo. I have shared the development also. The thing that we have shared, it has different stages. Fine, for the development of dicot embryo, whereas in monocot embryo you won't find such kind of events, especially the heart event. Globular event is there, right, but there isn't any heart event, right? So this is what the difference is. Many of the time it's been asked the difference between monocot embryo and the dicot embryo development. So what are the events that are missing in it? The heart, triangular you can find, till the triangular it is same. Heart and torpedo event is missing in monocot embryo, right? Let's see the monocot embryo, the structures what are present in it. The structures that are present in it is the scutellum. Scutellum is nothing but it is a cotyledon. Scutellum is the cotyledon. Then same with the plumule, right? Plumule is there, radicle is there. Plumule and radicle are at the same shoot tip and the root tip. Then it has one more, that is chlorhiza. What is the role of it? It is enclosing radicle and the root cap. Then one more different structure you will find, that is coleoptile. Coleoptile is a sheath enclosing plumule. Here is a plumule, that is shoot apex, right? Plumule and a few leaf primordia. So this is how the embryo of the dicot and monocot is different from each other. Thank you.